this is gonna be a quick homemade sticker label, homemade fake sticker label VHS update for March 30th, 2026, which I just made it back on. I just replaced the label. I already put it on back on Friday, which is I think back on March 27th of this year, 2026. So anyways, here we go. I remember when I did the live stream video, I didn't show you that label. I just didn't add an update on it, but I did make a new label. It's actually a homemade VHS tape. Well, I just recorded like almost 2 years ago, but here it is. Yep, this is a homemade VHS. I finally made the label that was from the real that was taken from a VHS, the real VHS copy of 10 Years of Thomas. This label, well, it's the same ink label that was the 2000 ink label, but it's a 2001 reprint label. I didn't use the 2004 reprint label. I did, or the original 1999 sticker label. I print out the ink label of, this is kind of like a dark sticker label. This is actually a dark, it's not really a sticker really, it's made of paper. I just used it, it's more like a paper label thing. And well, but my homemade sticker label is kind of still there, but I did cut it a little bit. There's the one that were on there. Right here's my homemade end label look like. Sadly, you can't see it clearly. I did put my homemade Doobie logo and Random House and Hit Entertainment logo and Connect Channel. This is the one I drew it back in 2024, and I did cut off. Yep, I decided to put it right on the end label for my homemade with my homemade Doobie logo, Random House, Hit Entertainment, and my homemade Connect Channel on it. It's a homemade VHS in 2024. I remember I did have the other copy that I made that has the same thing that was at Heidi and Don's house, which, yeah, I decided to have the same label like that used from like on the retail VHS. And no, it does not use the same content as the 1999 VHS. This is a homemade VHS that I made in 2024. It was actually recorded off on a DVD, which is kind of a copy protected. The only thing that's kind of a copy protected is it's not microvision. The microvision I wouldn't allow. It wouldn't work when I recorded a VHS. I wouldn't be able to copy this onto a disc. That's all. That's the only that I record onto a DVD from that. So yeah, I did, and I think I did do the opening and closing of this, but it was on another copy. For some reason, I kind of did use the other copy I have for Heidi Dawn's that I gave it to them. It was actually for some reason I did use the same content. I used the same content as the other one. Well, at the beginning, it just has the Random House logo. Starts with the Random House logo, my homemade Connect Shell, and Ubi logo. And then the DVD version of the Anchor Bay warning screen, the Anchor Bay logo, and Hit Entertainment logo, and the Thomas and Friends DVD trailer. And after that, and then it has the Hit Entertainment logo again. And then started the program. And after this, it has the Britt Allcroft, which just like so same thing like the 1999 VHS. Well, except after it just has the Hit Britt Allcroft logo at the end. Then it has the Hit Entertainment, the same thing like it was taken from the DVD. Hit Entertainment logo, the 30 seconds, the black screen, the white screen at the end, and that's it. Then it has the blank stack for the rest of the tape. And it's actually a homemade VHS tape, and recorded in EP mode, not SP mode. I don't think there's any Thomas VHS tapes that have the white screen at the end. I kind of wish it did though, but Anchor Bay and Video Treasure never do that. But I think I usually, when I make these homemade VHS tapes in SLP recorded, I use just like a similar like these rank videotapes, for example, or the late 90s through early 2000s, for example. And it has the fake barcode. This is my drawing. I just drew a barcode sticker. It's not really a sticker. It's a fake barcode sticker with blue sides on it, which I always think I made back in 2024. Yep, with blue sides barcode. So we all know what it has at the end. And yes, it does have. Yeah. This is actually this. I see this one come. Does this peel off? If it did, I will glue it back on. See if it does. Oh well. Yeah. I did finally put the 2001 ink label, which was actually more like a dark label because it was actually printed. Well, yeah, it is print. It's actually been printed. Yeah. Yeah. So I could have this label. Yeah. And in case you're wondering if I do have any Thomas VHS tapes, I don't have any of the retail, regular, normal VHS of Thomas and Friends, just the homemade and recordable tapes only. Well, I do have one recorded VHS tape that were recorded off from these two Thomas and Friends VHS, which is Galileo Legend and Make Someone Happy. Well, Galileo Legend, the original 1996 VHS, but the 1997 reprint, and the Make Someone Happy VHS, the blue tape one. Yeah. I remember the last time I had I remember I did used to have when I was a kid, I remember I used to have one Thomas VHS tape I owned. It's the one I already had the DVD with it, which is 10 Years of Thomas, which has an ink label, the same label like I used to have. And I didn't have it anymore. I think back in 2014 I didn't have this tape anymore. I remember I used to have that as a kid. Well, I originally got it had the tape since I think I was at Rivers of Life at church, I think, when I first got it, and then I had it at home, but I should have maybe thrown it away a long time ago. I guess the reason why I did that back in a very long time ago, I think, is because I already have the DVD. I don't need to get it out, but yeah. So yeah. And I remember I did back in 2024, I remember I did borrow these real Thomas and Friends VHS tapes, which is, I remember I did had the 10 Years of Thomas, Make Someone Happy, and Galileo Legend, which 10 Years of Thomas I did borrow from my friend Aaron. It was actually a blue tape. The same ink label look like this, but it's a blue tape. His is a blue tape. So it's kind of a 2000 reprint, but which I think the blue tape was pretty cool. I think if I was going to get a Thomas VHS tape, I'd like to get the blue tape of this. Which I think the blue tape was pretty cool. Yeah. I don't mind the blue tape version either, but yeah. Yep. I remember I did make a homemade VHS of Thomas and Friends Trackside Tunes, but it used the 2001 content except the white screen. Except it does have the white screen at the end. That's the only difference. And it was also an SLP. So yeah, which I did not. I remember I did before. Anyways, before I end this video, I remember when I made the ink labels that were from the retail VHS on my homemade VHS tape. I did use 10 Years of Thomas, Thomas Meets a Queen, and trackside tunes. Yeah. Yeah. There you have it. That was a homemade VHS label update. The only update is just this label, and I decided to put the one that I drew originally back in almost 2 years ago. I remember I did give it to Heidi and Dawn, but I decided to replace it with a different copy, with a new copy. Yeah. This is what a VHS design looked like. It was actually recycled from a 6-hour tape. From when I got this blank tape from Goodwill. Yeah, I think back in since 2021. Yeah, it was a blank tape when I first got it. And in case you're wondering, I am really good at splicing VHS tapes, and I'm really good at making and turning to the short amount film strips. But it wouldn't be easy for anyone. But I'm really good at fixing splicing these tapes. So yeah. So yep. For some reason I did not make a homemade print date. Yeah. Yep. But yeah, pretty cool. This is actually my homemade reprint. This is my homemade re-release of 10 Years of Thomas. Even though 10 Years of Thomas did exist on VHS back in 1999 when that released. But I used the 2001 ink label. I didn't, because I remember because I remember when I was a kid I used to have this tape. So yeah. And I don't remember, I just realized when I found it at yard sale 2014, when I was I think I don't remember what Thomas VHS. I know I had the other one. I'm guessing it was Best of Percy. I don't know. But yeah. There you have it. Thanks for watching. Peace.